Time to get into our book feature now, and this week we are talking to author from KZN, Sthandiwe Langa, on her book Unlabelled, which she says is a coming-of-age story about a young girl who grapples with her sexuality and religious beliefs and often feels confused and guilty. She tries to date men, but her heart is not really in it. She feels like she does not really fit into the LGBTQIA+ community either. Without giving away too much, Sthandiwe joins us now to tell us more about her latest book. Sthandiwe, a very good morning to you. A warm welcome to Morning Live. Speak to us about the inspiration behind this book and the reason to, put it all in a book.
Good morning, Lebu, and thank you for having me. This book was inspired by seeing what is happening within the LGBTQIA+ community, and just noticing that there's a culture that is forming itself and no one seems to be addressing it, as everybody is focused outside of the community, focused on acceptance outside of the community. So this is a South African story that walks us through different periods in South Africa where identifying as queer was still taboo and very, very difficult.
Now, you recommend that members of the LGBTQI+ community who are struggling with coming out or finding themselves in society read this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Understanding our cultures in South Africa, most households are religious. Mm-hmm. So this was very taboo in the past, and coming out was very hard. And this is why you find a lot of queer individuals have been exposed to abuse, rejection, and now this book is a conversation starter. It wants us to address issues. It asks if now that we're creating queer families, have those issues been addressed, or are we just carrying on? Because what we're seeing is queer households that are expecting one party to be submissive. Is this how it's supposed to be? Or is this as a result of unresolved issues? We are finding that in the queer community, there's abuse, whether physical or emotional. Is this as a result of the past issues that were not resolved? Shouldn't we be saying, let's get counseling? Because we know that most of queer individuals have been subjected to households where they were not accepted. They've had to live in fear.
Now, speak to us about your journey and how you include that in the book and how you unpack your struggles in the book.
Okay, so Unlabelled is fiction, but it is very influenced by issues that are happening currently and issues that I have personally experienced. So the reader then should be to brace themselves to feel emotions of passion. This is a romantic book. This is romance. So there's going to be a lot of romance, and there's going to be religious rejection. There is love. And this book is not shy of depicting queer love scenes, and it's very comfortable in depicting the love scenes that are queer related. And there's also poetry in this book, and which is should be the case for any other romance fiction book.
Mm. Speak to us about the boxes that exist in this book and that society puts the LGBTQI plus community in, and the families as well that put, straight people, for instance, in these boxes, and how they impact lives going forward.
That's a very serious question. We have these boxes, and they're growing every day. Every day, we get new boxes, which is fine. But now the question is it okay if I don't find a box that I fit in? Will the community, the LGBTQIA community, accept me if they know that I do not have a box that I feel I fit in? Or is it a case of, if you don't fit in this box, then you don't belong? Because there is a lot of feeling of not belonging. And sometimes there's a little bit of hypocrisy. You find people that say, we are welcoming, we are warm, and this is your home. But when you get there, there's levels. There is levels that are determined by your past. So if you've been through certain situation, you find yourself being put in a certain group or box, and that makes you feel less of quality in that, within that community.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sthandiwe, thank you so much for speaking to us. Good luck with the book going forward. That was author and LGBTQI plus activist Sthandiwe Langa speaking to us about her latest book, Unlabelled.